My sister-in-law snooped and stole our baby's name, then announced it right after she gave birth, but her face immediately dropped when she realized that we tricked her. My sister-in-law, Maya, has always been competitive with me since the day I married her brother, Jake. She couldn't handle that someone else was getting attention in what she considered her family. When Jake and I got engaged, she tried to announce her own engagement at our party. When we bought our first house, she suddenly started house hunting too. So, when we both ended up pregnant at the same time, I knew the competition was about to get intense. Maya was due just 2 weeks before me, and from the moment we announced, she became absolutely obsessed with finding out our baby name choice. At first, it started innocently enough. She'd casually ask during family dinners, "Have you guys thought about names yet?" When we'd deflect, she'd push harder. "Come on, just give me a hint." But then it escalated. Maya started showing up at our house unannounced, trying to peek at any baby books we had lying around. She'd walk through our nursery and comment on everything, clearly fishing for clues. She even asked my mother-in-law to pressure us into sharing our choice. The breaking point came when I caught her literally going through our mail when she thought we weren't looking. She was flipping through baby magazines and packages, desperately searching for any evidence of our name decision. I mean, who does that? I walked into the kitchen and there she was, hunched over our counter, literally sorting through our stuff like it was hers. "Looking for something?" I asked, and she jumped about a foot in the air. "Oh, I was just, checking if my package got delivered here by mistake," she stammered, her face turning red. But we both knew that was complete garbage. We'd never had her packages delivered to our place. My husband thought I was being paranoid when I told him I suspected Maya wanted to steal our name and use it first. "She wouldn't do that," he said, shaking his head while he scrolled through his phone. "That's crazy." "Jake? Seriously? This is the same woman who announced her engagement at our engagement party. The same woman who literally copied our honeymoon destination and booked it for the week before us so she could post all her photos first." He looked up from his phone, and I could see him processing it. "Okay, yeah, that was weird. But a baby name? That seems extreme even for Maya." But I knew better. This was exactly the kind of petty move Maya would pull. That's when I decided to set a trap. I created fake Pinterest boards filled with names I'd never actually consider using. Aurora, Serafina, Celestia, all these over-the-top names that honestly weren't even my style. I made sure the boards were public, and even searched for them a few times from our home computer, knowing Maya had been in our office the week before. Then I strategically left a notebook open on our kitchen counter with "Final Decision" written in big letters next to the name Aurora Rose when Maya came over for dinner. I'd actually written it there specifically because Jake had texted me that afternoon, saying Maya was on her way over with some random excuse about borrowing a casserole dish. I even coordinated with my mom to call me while Maya was within earshot, having a completely fake conversation about how Aurora fits so perfectly with your family naming tradition. "I'm so excited you finally decided." I was literally standing in the kitchen, phone to my ear, watching Maya through the doorway. She was pretending to look at photos on our fridge, but I could see her ears practically twitching as she tried to listen in. "Yes, Mom, we're sure about Aurora Rose," I said loudly. "It's perfect. We've been thinking about it for months." From the corner of my eye, I saw Maya's head snap toward me, then quickly turn away like she hadn't been paying attention. But the smile on her face told me everything. She'd taken the bait completely. Over the next few weeks, she started casually bringing up the name Aurora in random conversations, testing how we'd react. "Aurora is such a beautiful name, don't you think?" she'd say, watching our faces carefully. One time we were all at a family barbecue, and she literally cornered me by the potato salad. "So, I've been thinking about princess names lately. Aurora, Ariel, Belle, they're all so pretty, right?" I played along perfectly, acting slightly uncomfortable whenever she mentioned it, like she'd stumbled onto our secret. I'd change the subject quickly or give Jake these panicked looks. He was in on it by this point, and honestly, he was getting pretty good at the acting too. "Why are you so interested in our baby name?" Jake asked her one time, playing it perfectly annoyed. Maya had laughed and said, "I'm not. I'm just making conversation." God, you two are so paranoid, but we could see it in her eyes. She thought she'd won something. 2 weeks later, Maya went into labor. Within an hour of giving birth, she posted on Facebook, "Welcome to the world, baby Aurora Rose. Our little princess has finally arrived." I was lying in bed when I saw the notification pop up on my phone. Jake was next to me, and we both just looked at each other and started cracking up. The whole family flooded the comments with congratulations, but I noticed Maya kept checking to see if I'd responded. She was clearly waiting for my reaction to her surprise. I didn't comment. I just screenshotted and sent it to Jake with a bunch of laughing emojis. The next day at the hospital, Maya was practically glowing with smugness. When I walked into her room with Jake and a bouquet of flowers, she actually had the audacity to say, "I hope you don't mind that we ended up using Aurora. When she was born, it just felt so right for our daughter. I know you guys were considering it too." She was sitting up in the hospital bed, holding this tiny baby, and the smirk on her face was unreal, like she'd just won the lottery or something. That's when I pulled out my phone and showed her our real Pinterest board filled with completely different names like Zara, Luna, and Indy. "Actually, we decided on Zara months ago," I said calmly. "We've had the nursery letters ordered since my second trimester." I watched Maya's face transform from smug satisfaction to pure horror as she realized what had happened. Her mouth literally fell open. The color drained from her face so fast I thought she might pass out. But you had it written down," she stammered, looking between me and Jake like we'd just told her the sky was falling. "I know you've been snooping," I replied, keeping my voice steady even though inside I was absolutely loving this. "So, I gave you exactly what I thought you were looking for." Jake chimed in, and I could hear the disappointment in his voice. "Maya, you went through our mail. You interrogated Mom. You've been obsessed with this for months. Did you really think we wouldn't notice? Maya's husband, who'd been standing quietly in the corner, suddenly spoke up. Wait, you stole their baby name? I didn't steal anything. Maya practically shrieked, making baby Aurora start to fuss. They were going to use it, so they can still use it if they want. But we're not using it, I said. We never were. Zara Catherine is the name we chose. Has been for months. The family figured out what happened pretty quickly when they saw our real nursery preparations and baby registry. My mother-in-law called me that evening, and I could hear her trying not to laugh. I saw your registry. Zara? That's beautiful. So Aurora was never? Nope, I confirmed. Never even on our list. She sighed. I had a feeling Maya was up to something. She kept asking me about family naming traditions we don't even have. Maya didn't say a single word to me after that. She just sat there stone-faced while her baby slept, refusing to even look in my direction. Her husband kept trying to smooth things over, but you could tell he was embarrassed. The tension was unbearable. Other family members who came to visit kept shooting me these knowing looks, like they were trying not to laugh. I left the hospital feeling victorious, but also slightly uneasy about how quiet she'd gone. Maya wasn't the type to just take something like this lying down. She always needed to have the last word, the final move. That feeling was justified. 3 days later, I came home from a doctor's appointment to find our front door slightly open. My heart dropped. I always locked that door. Always. Jake was at work, and I definitely locked it when I left that morning. I pushed the door open slowly, calling out, "Hello?" Even though I was pretty sure nobody would answer. The house was silent. Too silent. Nothing seemed disturbed in the living room or kitchen. Everything looked normal until I walked into the nursery. Every single thing we'd bought was destroyed. The crib was smashed to pieces. The wooden slats broken and splintered across the floor. Baby clothes were shredded and covered in bleach. The chemical smell so strong it burned my nose. The walls we'd spent 2 weekends carefully painting in this soft yellow color were sprayed with black paint, huge streaks covering the little clouds we'd stenciled. But what made my knees buckle was seeing Zara's name carved into the destroyed crib with the word "dead" underneath it. I just stood there for a second, unable to process what I was seeing. My hands started shaking. Then I pulled out my phone and called Jake, my fingers barely working right. "Someone broke in," I said when he answered, my voice coming out way calmer than I felt. "You need to come home. Right now." "What? Are you okay? Did you call the police?" "Not yet. Just come home. The nursery is destroyed." I heard him say something to someone at his office, then car keys jingling. "I'm leaving now. Don't touch anything. I'm serious. Lock yourself in our bedroom and wait for me." But I couldn't move. I just kept staring at that word carved into the wood. Dead. Who does that? Who threatens an unborn baby like that? Jake rushed home within 20 minutes. I heard the front door slam and his footsteps pounding up the stairs. When he burst into the nursery, he just stopped dead in the doorway, his face going white. "What the fuck?" he whispered, looking around at the destruction. Then he saw the crib, saw what was carved into it, and I watched him actually stagger backward. Is that Zara's name?" "Yeah," I said, my voice breaking, with the word "dead" under it. Jake pulled out his phone and started taking photos of everything. The destroyed crib, the bleached clothes, the painted walls, close-ups of the carved threat. His hands were shaking too, I noticed. He was trying to hold it together, but I could see the rage building in his jaw, the way his teeth were clenched. "This is insane," he muttered, taking another photo. "This is actually fucking insane." "It was Maya," I said. It wasn't even a question. We both knew it. Jake stopped taking photos and looked at me. "We don't know that for sure." "Jake, come on." 3 days after we humiliated her with the name thing, our nursery gets destroyed and our baby's name is carved into the crib with a death threat? Who else would it be? He ran his hand through his hair, that thing he always does when he's stressed. You're right. I know you're right. I just can't believe my own sister would do something like this." "Believe it," I said. "Because I'm going over there to confront her directly." Jake looked at me like I'd suggested we rob a bank. "What? No. We need to call the police first." "And tell them what? That we think your sister did this based on a hunch? They'll need evidence. I want to see her face when I show her what she did. I want to watch her try to lie about it." Jake was quiet for a minute, then nodded slowly. "Okay, but I'm coming with you. And we're still calling the police after. To file a report at least." We drove to Maya's house in this tense silence. I had my phone in my hand, photos of the nursery pulled up and ready. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my ears. Part of me hoped I was wrong, that maybe it had been a random break-in, that Maya wouldn't actually go this far, but I knew better. When we pulled up to her house, I noticed her car in the driveway, so she was home. Good. Jake and I walked up to the front door together, and he rang the doorbell. We could hear footsteps inside, then Maya's husband answered the door. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, his shirt wrinkled like he'd slept in it. "Hey," he said, looking surprised to see us. "What are you guys doing here?" Before Jake could answer, Maya appeared behind him with this smug smile on her face. Baby Aurora was in her arms, sleeping peacefully. But when Maya saw Jake's expression, her smile faltered. "What's wrong?" she asked, trying to sound innocent. I didn't waste time with pleasantries. I pulled out my phone and showed her the photos. "Did you really carve a death threat into an unborn baby's furniture, Maya?" I watched her face as I swiped through the images. Her husband leaned over to look too, and I heard him suck in a breath. "What the hell? Someone broke into our house today," Jake said, his voice cold in a way I'd never heard before. "Destroyed our nursery. Everything we bought for our daughter." Maya's husband looked at her. "Maya? I didn't do that," she said quickly, but her voice was too high, too defensive. Why would I do something like that? Because I humiliated you, I said flatly. Because I tricked you into using a fake name and now you're stuck with it forever. That's insane, Maya said, but she wouldn't meet my eyes. I would never. I just had a baby. I have postpartum depression. I'm barely functioning. How could I possibly? But then I noticed something. Over Maya's shoulder, I could see into their entryway. There was a gym bag by the door, tipped over slightly, and on the side of it, clear as day, were fresh black paint stains. I pointed. What's that on your gym bag? Maya? Everyone turned to look. Maya's face went from pale to bright red in about 2 seconds. That's from when I was painting the nursery last month. Last month? Her husband interrupted. We finished the nursery 2 months ago, and we used cream-colored paint. The silence that followed was deafening. Baby Aurora made a little sound in Maya's arms, and it seemed to break whatever spell we were all under. Maya, Jake said, and his voice was shaking. Tell me the truth, right now. Did you break into our house and destroy our baby's nursery? Maya started crying, like actual tears streaming down her face. I have postpartum depression, she sobbed. I'm not thinking clearly. I don't even remember doing it. It's like I was in a fog. I just remember being so angry. And then I was in your house, and I couldn't stop. Her husband took a step back from her. You did what? She admits she has postpartum depression, but somehow had the clarity to drive to our house, break in, destroy thousands of dollars worth of items, and carve a death threat without remembering any of it? I said. That's convenient. I need help, Maya wailed. I need therapy. I'm not myself right now. Jake's face was hard. You knew exactly what you were doing, Maya. Postpartum depression doesn't make you carve death threats into cribs. That's not how it works. You wanted revenge. I'm sorry, Maya cried. I'm so sorry. I'll pay for everything. I'll replace it all. Please don't call the police. Please. I have a baby now. I can't go to jail. You should have thought about that before you threatened my unborn child, I said. Her husband was just standing there, looking between all of us like he couldn't process what was happening. Maya, is this true? Did you really do this? Maya kept crying, kept apologizing, but she didn't deny it again, and that was all the answer we needed. You need to get help, Jake said to his sister. Real help. Therapy, anger management, I don't care. But you need to admit what you did and you need to pay for the damages. I will, Maya sobbed. I'll do whatever you want. Just please don't call the police. Her husband looked at her with disgust. I think you guys should leave, he said to us. We need to talk, privately. As Jake and I turned to go, I did something I didn't plan. I spotted Maya's house key hanging on a hook in the kitchen, visible through the doorway. While Jake was still arguing with his sister, telling her she needed to take responsibility, I slipped past her husband into the kitchen and pocketed the key. Nobody noticed. Maya was too busy crying and defending herself. Her husband was too shocked, and Jake was too focused on his sister. Let's go, I said to Jake, touching his arm. He looked at me, then back at Maya. Fix this, he told her, or I swear to God, Maya, I'll never speak to you again. We left them there, Maya sobbing on her husband's shoulder, baby Aurora starting to fuss from all the noise. In the car, Jake gripped the steering wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. I can't believe she did that, he said. My own sister, threatening our baby. I didn't tell him about the key. Not yet, because an idea was already forming in my mind. If Maya wanted to play games, if she wanted to mess with my family, then I could play games too. Over the next week, Maya was suspiciously quiet. No texts, no calls, no social media posts. But I was busy. 3 times that week, I used the stolen key to enter Maya's house while she was out. I was careful. I watched her Instagram stories to see when she posted from Target or from her mom's house. Then I'd slip in. The first time, I took the baby monitor, just unplugged it from Aurora's room and walked out with it. The second time, I grabbed Maya's favorite blankets for Aurora, the expensive ones she'd bragged about buying. I also took some breast pump parts, small pieces she'd need but wouldn't immediately notice were missing. The third time, I took Aurora's coming home outfit, the one Maya had posted about on Instagram like 50 times. This adorable white dress with little pink flowers that she'd said was the one. Each time, I was in and out in less than 5 minutes. I knew which floorboards creaked, I knew where the security camera was, and how to avoid it. And each time, I felt this rush of satisfaction. This is what you get, I thought. This is what happens when you threaten my family. Maya started posting frantically on social media about items going missing. Am I losing my mind? I swear I left the baby monitor on the dresser. Now I can't find it anywhere. Number mom brain, number postpartum life. Then a few days later. Okay, seriously, where are Aurora's blankets? I've looked everywhere. Am I going crazy, or is someone moving my stuff? Her friends commented with sympathetic messages about how exhausting new motherhood is, how it's normal to misplace things. Nobody suspected what was really happening. I showed Jake the posts one night while we were lying in bed. Look at this, I said, trying not to smile. He read them, frowning. That's weird. Maybe she really is struggling with postpartum stuff. I just hummed non-committally and kept scrolling. But I wasn't done yet. I'd screenshotted photos of Maya's paint-stained gym bag that day at her house. I'd also taken a few photos of my own when I was there with the key, including close-ups of the bag and its contents. From a burner email I'd created, I sent everything to Maya's husband. The subject line was simple: your wife did this. In the email, I attached the photos of our destroyed nursery, alongside the photos of Maya's paint-stained bag. I wrote, your wife did this 3 days after giving birth. Does that sound like someone having a psychotic break? Or does it sound like someone who's angry and vindictive? The paint on her gym bag matches the paint on our nursery walls. She admitted it. She knew exactly what she was doing. I hit send and felt zero guilt. The next day, we could hear Maya and her husband arguing from our house. They lived 3 houses down, and apparently they were screaming at each other loud enough that the neighbors could hear. My friend who lived next door to them texted me, are Maya and her husband okay? They've been yelling for like an hour. 2 days after I sent that email, Maya showed up at our house with Aurora in her car seat carrier. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her hair was a mess, and her eyes were wild. She started pounding on our door at like 8 in the morning. Jake answered, and I came down the stairs to see Maya pushing past him into our house. "You've been stealing my stuff," she screamed at me. "You've been breaking into my house." I pulled out my phone and started recording. "I have no idea what you're talking about, Maya. Don't lie to me. Things have been disappearing from my house all week. The baby monitor, Aurora's blankets, her outfit. You're trying to make me look crazy. Maya, I think you need help," I said calmly, still recording. "This is exactly what you accused yourself of having. Postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. You're not thinking clearly." "I'm thinking perfectly clearly," she shrieked. Aurora started crying in her carrier. "You're gaslighting me. You're getting revenge because I used your fake baby name." Jake stepped between us. "Maya, calm down. You're scaring the baby." "I'm scaring the baby? Your wife is breaking into my house. Do you have proof?" I asked, still filming. "Because I have proof that you broke into ours. We have the paint-stained bag. We have your confession. What do you have?" Maya's face crumpled. "I knew you'd do this. I knew you'd try to make me look insane. But I'm not. I'm not crazy." "Nobody said you were crazy," Jake said gently. "But you did vandalize our nursery and threaten our unborn baby. And now you're showing up at our house at 8 in the morning making accusations you can't prove. This isn't healthy, Maya." I ended the recording and immediately posted it to a private family Facebook group. Within minutes, comments started pouring in. Family members expressing concern for Maya, asking if she was okay, pointing out that she'd named her baby after a name she'd stolen from us in the first place. My mother-in-law commented, "Maya, sweetheart, I think you need to take a step back and get some rest. This behavior isn't like you." Maya saw the post on her phone and screamed. Actually screamed. Then she grabbed Aurora's carrier and ran out of our house, nearly tripping down the porch steps. The family matriarch, Jake and Maya's grandmother, called an emergency family meeting after seeing all the online drama. She was 84 years old and didn't tolerate any nonsense from anyone. When Grandma Helen called a meeting, you showed up. It was held at her house the following Sunday. The whole family was there, sitting in her formal living room that nobody was usually allowed in. Maya was there with her husband and baby Aurora. Jake and I sat on the opposite side of the room. Grandma Helen sat in her chair at the front, looking at all of us with these sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Someone explain to me what on earth is going on with this family," she said. "I'm seeing Facebook posts about stolen items and destroyed nurseries. I'm hearing about threats carved into baby furniture. This is not how we behave." Maya immediately started crying. "They're trying to ruin my life, Grandma. They tricked me into using a baby name they were never going to use, and now they're breaking into my house and making me look crazy. I want to see evidence," Grandma Helen said. Not tears. Evidence. I had come prepared. I pulled out printed copies of Maya's text from months ago where she'd been asking family members about our baby name, screenshots of her social media posts about things going missing, photos of the destroyed nursery, and the photo of her paint-stained gym bag. I handed everything to Grandma Helen, and she put on her reading glasses to examine it all. Maya's husband suddenly spoke up. "There's something else," he said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. "I found the destroyed items in our garage, hidden behind some boxes." The room went completely silent. Maya's face drained of all color. "What?" "Last night," her husband continued, looking at her with this expression of complete betrayal. "I was looking for some tools and I found bags full of destroyed baby items, clothes covered in bleach, pieces of a crib, all hidden in our garage. You were supposed to throw those away," Maya blurted out, then immediately clapped her hand over her mouth. But it was too late. She'd just admitted everything in front of the entire family. Grandma Helen stood up, and even though she was this tiny elderly woman, everyone in that room seemed to shrink. "Maya Elizabeth, are you telling me you destroyed your brother's baby nursery and then hid the evidence in your own garage?" Maya started sobbing. "I was so angry. They made me look like a fool. I stole a baby name that they were never even going to use, and everyone was laughing at me behind my back. So yes, I went to their house and I destroyed their nursery because they deserved it for humiliating me." "They deserved it?" Jake stood up, his voice rising. "Our baby deserved to have her name carved into a crib with the word dead underneath it. I wasn't going to actually hurt anyone," Maya screamed. "It was just supposed to scare you. You needed to know what it felt like to have something ruined." Her husband stood up, picked up Aurora's carrier, and headed for the door. "I can't do this right now," he said. "I can't even look at you." "Where are you going?" Maya cried, running after him. "My parents' house. I need time to think about whether I want to stay married to someone who carves death threats into baby furniture." He left, just walked out with the baby. Maya tried to follow, but Grandma Helen's voice stopped her. "Sit down, Maya." Maya sat, tears streaming down her face. "Here's what's going to happen," Grandma Helen said. "You are going to pay for every single item you destroyed. Every piece of clothing, every bit of furniture, every can of paint. You're going to write a formal apology to your brother and his wife. And you're going to get professional help, real therapy, not this excuse about postpartum depression that you're using to justify your vindictive behavior." "Grandma, I'm not finished. Until you do all of those things, you are banned from family events. Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, all of it. And if you refuse, I'll be adjusting my will accordingly. You'll be cut from the inheritance entirely." Maya looked around the room for support, but everyone just stared at her. Even her own mother looked disappointed. This is so unfair, Maya whispered. Unfair? I finally spoke up. You know what's unfair? Planning a nursery for months, buying everything with money we'd been saving, spending weekends painting and decorating, only to come home and find it all destroyed because you couldn't handle being outsmarted. The meeting ended shortly after that. Maya left, still crying, getting into her car alone since her husband had taken their baby and gone. As people filed out, several family members came up to Jake and me to apologize on Maya's behalf. 2 days later, Maya texted me, "Can we meet? I want to apologize in person and make things right. Please." I showed Jake the text. "What do you think?" "She needs to face what she did," he said, "but I'm coming with you, and we're recording everything." I agreed to meet Maya at a coffee shop near our house. Jake and I got there early and set up my phone to record, propped up against the sugar container so it looked like I was just scrolling through messages. When Maya walked in, she looked terrible. Dark circles under her eyes, her clothes wrinkled, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. She sat down across from us and immediately pulled out an envelope. "This is for the damages," she said, sliding it across the table. "I liquidated some stocks. It should cover everything." I opened the envelope and counted. $5,000 in cash. Honestly, that was about right for what we'd spent on the nursery. "Thank you," I said, putting the money in my purse. "I really am sorry," Maya said, and for a second, she almost looked sincere. "I know what I did was wrong. I let my jealousy and anger control me, and I took it too far. You threatened my unborn baby," I said flatly. I know, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life, but I wanted to tell you something else." She paused, putting her hands on her stomach. "I'm pregnant again." Jake and I both stared at her. "What?" "I just found out yesterday, and I know things are horrible between us right now, but I was hoping maybe we could move past this. For our kids, I want them to grow up together, to be close like Jake and I used to be before all this happened." I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. "You're delusional." "Excuse me? You think I'm going to let my daughter anywhere near you? You threatened her before she was even born. You destroyed her nursery. You carved the word dead into her furniture. And now you want us to just, what, move on? Play happy family? I gave you the money. The money doesn't erase what you did," Jake said. "Maya, I love you because you're my sister, but I don't trust you. I don't know if I'll ever trust you again." Maya's face started to redden. "So that's it? You're just going to cut me out of your life? Keep my niece away from me?" "You did that yourself," I said, "the second you decided to break into our house." "You know what?" Maya's voice got louder. "I'm glad I did it. You want to know the truth? I'm glad I destroyed your precious nursery because you deserved it. You humiliated me in front of the entire family. You made me name my baby after a fake name just so you could laugh at me. There it is," I said softly. "The real Maya, not the apologetic, regretful one. The one who thinks revenge is justified." I pulled out my phone from where it had been recording the entire conversation and held it up. "And now I have you on camera admitting that you're glad you did it, that we deserved it." Maya's eyes went wide. "You recorded me?" "Every word," I said, standing up. "Jake, let's go." "You can't use that." Maya grabbed for my phone, but I pulled it back. She lunged across the table, knocking over her water glass, and tried to grab it again. Other customers in the coffee shop turned to stare. "Ma'am, you need to calm down," the barista called out. Maya didn't calm down. She was screaming now, making a scene, trying to get my phone while I held it above my head. Jake tried to pull her back, and she shoved him. The barista came over and asked us all to leave. We were kicked out of the coffee shop, all three of us standing on the sidewalk. Maya was crying again, makeup running down her face. "You set me up," she sobbed. "You tricked me again." "No," I said, pocketing my phone safely. "You exposed yourself. I just gave you the opportunity." Jake put his hand on my back. "Let's go home." We left Maya standing there on the sidewalk, sobbing alone. In the car, Jake was quiet for a long time. Finally, he said, "Do you think we went too far?" "She carved a death threat into our daughter's crib," I reminded him. "She broke into our house and destroyed everything we'd prepared for our baby. She admitted she was glad she did it." "No, I don't think we went too far at all," he nodded slowly. "Yeah, you're right." When we got home, I saved the recording to 3 different places: the cloud, my laptop, and an external hard drive, just in case. Because knowing Maya, this wasn't over yet, but at least now we had everything documented. Every lie, every admission, every moment of her true nature on display. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.